Today we're taking a quick look at and installing the OEM style headlights with the LED DRLs fitting all 2015 through 2018 Chargers equipped with factory halogen headlights. Now the OEM style lights that we have here today will be a very affordable way to help refresh the front end of your Mopar with a true to factory replacement complete with the LED daytime running lights and modern projectors. Now the headlights will be sold individually. They will include brand new bulbs and they do feature things like the clear polycarbonate lens, along with the black housings, all for right around that high $200 price point for each side. So moving into our features block here, guys, and the big thing to keep in mind is that these are mainly going to be an affordable factory styled replacement for the Charger owners out there who may have damaged one or both in a small fender bender, or maybe they're just looking a little bit rough from a decade's worth of abuse. Now, with that being said, these aren't going to offer anything in the form of aftermarket inclusions, right? They're not gonna have a smoke lens. They're not gonna give you LED projectors. Instead, these are just a true to form, true to stock headlight that will be much more affordable than going down to your local Mopar dealer and grabbing a set from them. Another feature worth mentioning here, guys, is the fact that they do include brand new bulbs throughout and the fact that they can be sold separately. So maybe you don't need both. Maybe you just need a passenger or a driver's side option. You can grab each one individually, or if you wanted to replace both at the same time, you totally could, and for south of 500 bucks. Now, talking about construction here, you are going to find the dual beam projectors, again, just like the factory headlights that you are replacing, in addition to the black automotive grade ABS plastic for the actual housings, which are then topped off with that impact resistant clear polycarbonate lens. Now, these options do still maintain the factory layout, including the dual beam projectors, which we just talked about, but also that white DRL that kind of wraps around the entire headlight here. That is, of course, going to be the LED portion of the headlight. And then right there in the middle, you do have your turn signal portion as well. And again, just your basic overall styling is very true to the factory lights. Now, these again are for halogen owners out there. And because of that, they will include brand new halogen bulbs. So just keep that in mind. Finally, guys, the lights have been given the DOT and SAE stamp of approval, making them legal for use in all 50 states. Price point for each individual light will again land in that high $200 ballpark, which again is going to be a good bit more affordable compared to going down to your local Mopar dealer and grabbing a new set from them. Now, with that being said, if you did want to use this as an opportunity to upgrade with something maybe going to deliver a full LED operation, including the projector, you can certainly feel free to check out the rest of our selection here at AM before making your final decision. All right, moving into the install, and the site's gonna call this a solid 2 out of 3 wrenches on the difficulty meter, taking you at least an hour to complete from start to finish. But now to give you a better idea of how this one might go down in the garage or driveway at home, let's throw it out to the shop for our detailed walkthrough and tool breakdown.
Tools required for this install include a ratchet, clip remover tool, an extension, 7 and 8 millimeter sockets, and a 10 millimeter swivel socket. What's up, guys? Today we're installing headlights on our Charger. First, you're gonna watch a quick uninstall video showing you how to remove your factory headlights, and I'll meet you back here for the install.
Alrighty guys, so we've got our vehicle on the lift. It's gonna make it a little bit easier for us to work because we're gonna need to remove this front bumper. We've got the hood up. We're gonna start by removing this upper shroud. So we've got our clip removal tool. We've got push pins all along this, so we're gonna remove all of those and get this out of the way first. Now that we've got all those out, this top part is going to be loose. Let me actually pop this out. Now we have a 10 millimeter bolt right under where our fender meets our bumper on each side that we're going to have to remove. So we've got our 10 mil socket on our ratchet. We'll pop that out. Then we can do the same thing for the other side. So now we've got the car lifted up in the air a bit, and if you do have a front splitter or lip, you're going to need to remove that first. And then we have some 7 millimeter screws at the bottom of our front bumper we're going to need to take off. So we've got our 7 mil socket on our impact. We'll get these out of here. All right, so now we're into our fender liner, and obviously we've got our wheels off. That's gonna make things much easier. And we've got our clip removal tool. We're gonna need to remove the push clips around this area, as well as a few screws to pull our fender liner back to gain access to our inner bumper mounting hardware. So we'll pop these off. Also got one in here, as well as a few down bottom here. Now we've got 3 7mm screws right here that we're going to need to remove. So once again, we've got our 7mm socket. We'll pop these off. Next, we're going to pull down a bit on our lower vent just to kind of make some space. We're going to need to pull in on our fender liner because it does hook around our bumper. Pop that out of the way. And that should be just enough to gain access to our bumper hardware. So we're gonna need a little bit more wiggle room on our fender liner, so we're gonna take out a couple more of our push pins to give ourselves some room to work. So once again, we've got our clip removal tool. I'm gonna pop these push pins back here out. It's gonna allow the front of our fender liner to drop down a little bit, which is what we need. Pull this whole thing back a bit like so. And that'll give us room to access our mounting hardware for our bumper. So now we can pull our fender liner back, and this is going to be very difficult to see, but if you follow the line where your bumper meets your fender, there are 2 10mm screws we need to pull out. They're going to be facing down, so the head will be up inside of the fender. So we've got a shallow 10mm socket on our ratchet, and we'll get in there and pop these out. And this is going to be pretty tricky. And we're gonna switch out to our electric ratchet with our 10mm. If you have one of these, highly recommend it. It's gonna make things much easier. Once you have both of those out, grab them. So now we're gonna unplug our marker light connector. So we'll come back behind it and push down on our release tab, pop that out. We're also going to need to unplug our fog lights. So we'll reach back to our connector, release our red safety tab, and unplug that as well. Now, once you've reached this point on this side, you can do the same thing for the other side. So now that we have everything unbolted and unplugged, we can begin to remove our bumper. So you want to very carefully pull this out and support it. So now that our bumper's off, we can begin unbolting our headlight. So we've got 2 bolts up top and 2 down bottom. So we need our 8mm socket and an extension on our impact. And we'll start with these 2. Now we can get our 2 lower bolts. So get in here and get our lower ones. And get our last one. Careful to support your headlight. You don't want that falling out. Now we can pull our headlight out and unplug the single connector on the back side. So we'll push in our tab, pop that out, and we can set our headlight aside. Now once you have this side out, you can do the same thing for the other side.
So now we're ready to install our new headlights. Now these are plug and play, so just plug in that one connector, slide it into place. And I'm going to get my bolts started. You can use an 8mm socket with an extension to get in there. And then we've got those 2 on the bottom as well. And then we'll throw that 8mm socket on our ratchet and fully tighten down our bolts. And then do that same thing on the other side. Next, we can lift our bumper and slide it into place. So now I'm gonna start at the top and work my way down. I'm gonna start with the bolts in the corner. So just go ahead and thread that through your fender and into your bumper. And then I'm taking a 10mm swivel socket to tighten it down. Do the same thing on the other side. Next, we can reinstall all of our push clips. Now we're gonna hop back into our wheel well. We've got our 2 bolts going through our fender into the bumper. We've got one around here and one around here. Now it's gonna be very difficult to get a shot in there to show you, but you just kind of have to reach up in there and do it by feel. That first one's right here. I'm gonna thread that in as far as I can by hand. We're gonna do the same thing with the second one. Second one's coming out right here. And then I'm gonna grab a 10mm swivel socket to get up in there and tighten these down. And then we'll do the same thing for the other one. Now we need to plug in our side marker and our fog light, and then we can pop our fender liner back into place. So for the fog light, grab your connector, push it in, and then push in the red locking tab. And for the side marker, we're just going to be plugging this one in. And then we'll just pop our fender liner back. We've got hooks down here that are going to hook around the bumper. Pop those in. And now we'll reinstall our clips and our hardware. So now we can start popping in all of our clips. And then I'm going to rotate my wheel and we're going to hop underneath and reinstall our screws. So now we'll come back. I've got another clip here that I removed, and then we've got our 3 screws for our air dam. And then take a 7mm socket to tighten those down. And then repeat that process on the other side. Now we've got the 6 screws at the bottom of our bumper. Before you throw these in, make sure that these tabs in the bumper are slid into the splash guard down here. And then just thread in all your screws. Then grab your 7mm socket and tighten all of them down. So that'll wrap up this review and install of the OE Style headlights with black housing and clear lens for your 2015 to 18 Charger with factory halogen headlights. Thank you for watching, and for all things Charger, keep it right here at AmericanMuscle.com.